and welcome to this week's Torah Outreach Program, Erev Shabbos Burst of Inspiration. Today's Burst of Inspiration is sponsored by Mr. Harvey and Mrs. Debbie Lichtman as a zechus, a merit for Refuah Shaliema, complete recovery for Shifra, Ilana bas Rochel, Penina, and Tinok ben Chana Bracha. May the learning of Torah that comes from this video be a zechus for these people, that they should have a complete Refuah Shaliema. Question. We know that the Torah says that we're not supposed to humiliate another human being. But how far do we have to go to make sure that we don't do that? Well, we have a great example from this week's Parsha. Parshas Vayetzei. Yaakov comes into Laban's home and he makes a deal with him. I will work for you for 7 years on condition that at the end of the 7 years you give me Rochel to be my wife. 7 years go by and he wants to marry Rochel. Laban makes a huge party, and while all the festivities are going on before the chuppah, he switches Rochel for Leah. Now, how did Yaakov get fooled so easily? Well, first of all, she had a veil on, like we do traditionally at weddings. But also, Rochel, seeing that her sister was taking her place, she was afraid that her sister would be embarrassed. And therefore, she went to her sister and said, I really know that Yaakov wanted you more. And he and I made a signal system just to show that I'm committed to the same things that he is. The code word is Chana. Ches stands for challah, baking challah, taking off challah for, as a gift to the Kohanim, which is a woman's mitzvah. Nida, family purity. Hadlakas haner, lighting candles. Remember those three things under the chuppah, and Yaakov will want you, and always has wanted you more than me. Now, that wasn't true. Why did Rochel do that to Leah? Because she didn't want to embarrass her. How far did she go? As soon as she could walk and talk, she knew that she had a cousin, Yaakov, back in Eretz Canaan, the land of Israel. And she knew she was destined, or she hoped she was destined to marry him. And that was her life's dream, her aspirations for the present, her aspirations for the future, and her aspirations that she had in the past, present, and future. And she gave it up. Why? Because I can't allow my sister to be humiliated. I'm willing to give up everything, not to humiliate another human being. How does the Torah look at this? The Medrash tells us when the first temple, the first base of Mikdash was destroyed, Yirmiyahu, the prophet at the time, went to wake up our forefathers so they'll plead to God to bring us back. Because at that point, it didn't look that we were ever coming back. When they heard about it, they all came to God with their incredible accomplishments in this world and saying, for that reason, you should bring back my people. Abraham went through 10 incredible tests, challenges against everything he believed in. Yitzchak jumped on an altar, ready to give himself over. Yaakov raised the 12 tribes and went through day to day grind of issues with his parents, with his brother and his parents and his in-laws and his siblings and his children. All these things, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, God, had an answer for everything. And he said, your merits don't work because the Jewish people have sinned so badly. Nothing you say can change my mind. Rochel comes along, goes to the front of God's throne, so to speak, and says that I dreamed my whole life of marrying Yaakov. I was ready to give up my dream of being the matriarch of the Jewish people, of giving birth to the 12 tribes, of being Yaakov's wife, the most spiritually refined human being on the planet. And I gave it all up for one reason. Because I didn't want to hurt her. I didn't want to hurt my sister. I swallowed my jealousy. I swallowed my pride. I swallowed my dreams. I swallowed my past, my present, my future. For that reason. My challenge is greater than yours, God. You're punishing them for what? Idol worship. For worshiping things that don't matter to you. Sticks and stones. My pain was real. And I let it go. The Medrash tells us that God promised Rochel, on your merit, no one else. Not these incredible sacrifices that our forefathers did. None of them. On your merit, Rochel, I'll bring them home. How far do we have to go not to embarrass another human being? And how important is it in God's eyes? John.